this is a really, really handy way of turning around Lucent absolutely free with spending no money. And you can use that Lucent in turn to buy things off of the item shop, the cash shop, and earn these things completely free, such as skins, amatoys, different morphs, and other materials that you can use for whatever you see fit. All right, you want to save money? This game's got some pay to win in it, and you want to be 100% free to play. You want to know how to get Lucent? Let me tell you exactly how to do it. We'll keep it simple, we'll keep it sweet, and if you enjoyed the video and it's helpful, make sure to smash the like button. First off, let's head into the game. There are two main ways to make Lucent in this game. If we go over to the crafting tab, one of the more important ones are going to be crafting lithographs. You can craft the precious blank lithographs for weapons, armor, and accessories, and you can also craft the same for blues. And what these do is they will take an item, they will turn it into a craftable blueprint, and that blueprint can then be registered to the marketplace. These are really handy for making in-game Lucent, and sometimes you may get a rare item that you can turn into a lithograph, which is a great turnaround item for Lucent. If we go to my auction house and look at my sales history here, you'll notice that I have sold things such as lithographs for Gauntlet of Infernal Herald and managed to get it down for 580, and then afterwards with the tax applied, I got it for 452. And there's other items which I've been able to sell through doing this exact method. A good way to tell if the item is worthwhile on the marketplace is to go to the auction house itself. You can search up a wide variety of items. So if you get a rare item from a boss, for example, you can go down and check the price of the lithographs. So if you get something worthwhile, it's really, really good to take a look at the auction house to see if it's sellable on the marketplace. And if you have something that's worth a decent price, then turning it into a lithograph to sell on the marketplace will yield you a pretty decent profit in Lucent. You're able to make thousands of Lucent depending on your RNG. RNG is RNG, but this is a really, really handy way of turning around Lucent absolutely free with spending no money. And you can use that Lucent in turn to buy things off of the item shop, the cash shop, and earn these things completely free, such as skins, amatoys, different morphs, and other materials that you can use for whatever you see fit. You're able to go to the crafting vendor in a local town, talk to the crafting vendors themselves, and then be able to create the lithograph of that particular item. So if you do get an accessory, make sure you make a lithograph accessory parchment. If you get a weapon, make sure you craft a lithograph weapon parchment. And if you get a piece of armor, make sure you craft an armor lithograph parchment. And the same thing goes for the blues as well. Sometimes blues will sell for a pretty okay amount, and the material cost will be listed on the right hand side. One of the big ones that is a fuel for the lithographs is the enchanted ink. The enchanted ink is obtainable through a couple of ways here. You're able to go through the shop, and through ornate coins, you're able to purchase the enchanted ink. And I'm going to talk about how you can get some ornate coins in the game here in a little bit. And the second way that you guys are able to get enchanted ink is by talking to the contract merchant. You're able to get enchanted ink over here, which rotates weekly, and you can obtain these coins through doing your contract through the contract vendors. Once you have enough currency, you can buy these, and you'll notice that this is sold out for myself as well as sold out on my ornate coin section, because this is a really good way of farming that Lucent. So get a drop, take a look at your inventory, try to see if that item is worth extracting. So for example, I recently got a Forsaken Embrace on my server. So this is a best in slot endgame item for me, so I wouldn't be getting rid of this. But if I was interested in selling this, I could go to the marketplace. I could look up Forsaken, for example, and I look at the lithograph. The lithograph itself is selling for quite a bit of Lucent. So I'd be able to turn it into a lithograph parchment. I would probably go under this price from around 51.50 and then wait for that to be sold, keeping my eye on it to seeing if people are undercutting me. People love to undercut people, so keep an active eye on that, because this is a good way you'll be able to turn around selling it quickly, and prices will always diminish. Poor guy over here is still waiting for it to sell for 13,000, and as you can see with the volume that's listed, it's likely never going to sell until this all gets cleared out, which again, in turn, this probably won't sell. This guy will probably, so any of these guys will probably end up relisting them and start undercutting each other. So again, pay attention to prices because that's the best way you're going to be able to sell this and turn that profit. It's all about supply and demand, baby. So the next one is going to be extracting traits from items. If you guys don't know how traits work in the game, I've made a really handy video on understanding that, as well as getting trait unlock stones for your traits. Make sure to check those out if you're interested in learning more about that. But extracting traits is also a really good way to turn a profit once again for Lucent. Oh look, there's my enchanted ink right there. So I've got some traits here. These are kind of whatever items. Got some ranged endurance on the pants. You know, for the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and extract these and show you guys here. So once again, you can extract traits by using trait extraction stones, which are sold once again to the contract coin merchant. You're able to buy a certain amount out weekly. It's good to buy pretty much as many as you can if you're running the contracts, but I haven't bought my purple pouch yet. So let's go ahead and buy that first, and then we'll buy the rest of what I can pick up here. We'll go ahead and purchase that. Now that I've got these trait extraction stones, this is the currency that you're going to use to extract traits from an item to sell to the marketplace. You can also get trait extraction stones through the shop. You can get them through the ornate coin purchases as well. And again, I will talk about ornate coins here at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And by going to the battle pass, you can also go to Zenus's star shop here, and you can get trait extraction stones through this as well. These are also farmable through doing your mystic portals by farming your mystic keys, which I've already gone ahead and gotten my 5 here. So make sure you guys are doing the mystic portals. If you don't know how to do that, again, I have other videos such as getting materials in the game and figuring out things to do and things of that nature. So if you want to go check out that video as well, I'll make sure to have this linked all down in the description down below for yourself. But nonetheless, trait extraction stones are going to be that currency for extracting those traits. So again, a really good way of finding out if something is worth value is you can click on the trait extraction. You can click on that item. Ranged endurance should sell for at least something. It says the latest listed price is between 10 and 88 just down here. So one thing that I want to do is right now with the marketplace averages, I'm trying to get like maybe 30 to 50 on average minimum, or even, I mean, sometimes 20. It depends on how much lucent you need for something. But with these little guys, I try to get an average of like 30, 40 minimum, if not more, depending on what the item is. So since this is a ranged endurance trait, a good way to find out if there's value in this trait on the marketplace is you open up the auction house. Since this is a piece of armor, I'm going to select armor on the armor tab. We'll go to the search criteria. We'll select the grade of the item. We'll find trait. And this was ranged endurance. We'll go ahead and click that, search that. You'll notice the helmets sell for nothing, but if we go to the legs in turn also sell for pretty much next to nothing. So if I listed this for 10 lucent, it would sell, but since it's very cheap, I'm just going to hang on to it because I'm going to use it in one of my pieces of gear here coming up. So, but the next one that I hopefully can get something out of would be the skill damage boost. And if we hover over this item for the necklace, you can see that it sells for a range of 10 to 1000. So again, we're going to look up the skill damage boost trait for the necklace. So we'll go once again to the auction house. We'll clear the criteria here. We'll click on accessories this time. We'll do the search criteria. We'll click on rare, go to find trait. We'll type in skill damage boost, select that, and then we'll look at the necklaces. So the necklaces you can see here will sell for 112 lucent each. So that's a good one to extract. We'll go ahead, we'll select trait extraction. We'll select this, we'll extract the trait. I actually need that for gearing up, but that's fine. I'm going to do it for the sake of the video. We go to auction house, we go to sell. We can select this here. You can see the lowest available price on this one is 120. So I'll sell it for 119 or 115. So we'll sell it for 119, try to get ahead of the line here. Accept, and boom, my item is listed. And once again, in return, I get lucent. You need to be aware though that there is a marketplace tax. The tax rate is 22%. If you're ever curious on what the tax rate is, you can go to the sell history, take a look at the tax rate, and you'll see that you'll get charged a tax percentage off the item. So once this sells, 22% will be taken off of this. So I'll get roughly about 95, 96 Lucent once this sells. And you can see so far, I've only sold about 4,600 Lucent. There's people who have sold and managed to farm much more. RNG is a factor in a lot of this, but it is good to pay attention to the items that you get, the traits that are on them. And if you do end up needing to use the traits that you have, a good thing to do would be to search up the item and then see what is potentially selling for. So for example, let's just say you've got a specific item. It's got a very good trait on it. So let's go again back to the Shock Commander helmet. This is something that I got recently, and you'll notice that to unlock the specific trait, you'll need the same item to unlock the trait, or you use trait unlock stones. Again, if you don't know how to do that, definitely check out that trait guide that I mentioned earlier. To level up the trait further, let's just say I ended up getting the Shock Commander helmet. The item itself isn't sellable. Let's just say the trait, we're going to go with selling the trait specifically, just for this case scenario. For this case scenario, we'll just play pretend here. So let's say we got melee endurance. It sells for 8,000 Lucent, okay? Well, if we look up, once again, an epic item, we find the trait, we find melee endurance, and we look at the head on any piece, you'll notice that the melee endurance sells for 90 Lucent. So very good opportunities to potentially flip, turn a profit, and then utilize that profit to get more out of it by doing something like this. So we take the Shock Commander helmet, maybe we extract the trait, we list the trait to the marketplace, or maybe we litho it and list it to the marketplace. The traits that we need, we can search up the criteria and kind of min-max on the value of the Lucent that we spend by doing something like this. So the marketplace is really handy to take advantage of, to pay attention to what you're selling, take a look at what's available, because not everything may sell. For example, if we were to extract, let's say, these pants, since they are a price of 10, 10's not a good price, but you'll notice from earlier, it would have a chance of selling because there's only a couple listed at that price. A worst case scenario would be, let's say, these extractions down here with melee endurance on the helmet. So we go ahead, once again, we clear this out, we go to armor, let's click on the head this time, we go to rare, find trait, let's do melee endurance, apply. Okay, we need to make sure we select the head again, and look, melee endurance listed in high volume at the price of 10. So there's quite a few to be purchased until the price starts going back up. So you're gonna get butt in this line here, and it could take a while to sell, or maybe it won't. So that's why it's always good to make sure what things are selling for to guarantee your items will sell, because 10 is the minimum that it can sell for. So make sure you pay attention to that stuff. Now, going throughout world bosses, I think we may have one coming up here. Any world boss that you go to has a chance of dropping some fun little goodies, but there is a chance that some of these items can actually be sellable as is. You may notice that when you go to the auction house, once again, let's use that Shock Commander helmet, for example. That Shock Commander visor, which is currently not listed, but it is lithoed. Let's see if we can find something raw here. Let's do the Forsaken. Okay, here we go. So the Forsaken Embrace is sellable, and people are selling them for 10,000 each, which is kind of foolish to buy because honestly, you could just go buy the litho and it would save you a dramatic amount of Lucent. But some items that you get are sellable. If you're in a guild, you can have some items that are also listable to the auction house. If you're traveling as a solo and get insanely lucky, some items are sellable, most are not, but it's good to pay attention to see if some are, because who knows, maybe you can cash out and get a good cash prize out of that. So bear in mind, not all items are sellable. Most of them you will end up either extracting traits from, or you will be turning into lithographs to sell them and turn that profit. But items do have a chance of being sellable. Another okay way of making Lucent, it is possible, but I wouldn't call it very efficient, is cooking. Cooking, you have a chance to proc a great success when cooking the meal, and when you get a great success, you get a greater meal that you've made in return. And those greater meals you are able to then list to the marketplace. So if we go to my storage and grab some of the great proc items, actually, I think I have some in my inventory right now. I do. So we'll go to the auction house right now. We'll go to sell, and you'll notice that I actually have some meals that had great success procs that all are sellable. But you'll notice that the lowest average price can be a determining factor of if it is going to be sold. So it would be better to have a high volume of these items, sell them at a competitive price so you can yield a return of Lucent. And as you can see, that ornate choker, the necklace that we have listed, has sold. So we collect that. We're at 436, so we'll probably about 520-ish. 528. There you go. 92 Lucent overall. And on top of everything that I've mentioned, everything is repeatable through making alt characters. Alt characters are tremendously handy tools to utilize in order to maximize on your dimensional contracts as well as your abyssal contract currency. And when people have run out of things to do, hopping onto an alt character to do the exact same thing that I've mentioned, rinsing and repeating for those items, for those traits, for those lithographs, will be a good way to maximize potential for Lucent farming. This is something that more hardcore players will do. This is something that the min-maxers will do. But if you are running out of options, this is another way to be able to do this. Lucent is shareable across all of your characters. So if you're interested in farming more of that, this will be the absolute min-max thing that you can do. But past that, I think we've covered it all. Lucent is shareable account wide. So definitely take advantage of doing your dungeon runs, running the open world dungeons, farming your contracts, and take note of how you can do these things efficiently. If you want to know how to run contracts efficiently, make sure to check out this video over here to yield some good material return through some min-max tips and tricks as well. And everything will be linked down in the description below. But these are some really great ways, and some of the main ways, if not the main ways, that you are going to be able to produce Lucent completely free to play. Now, let's talk about ornate coins. Ornate coins are typically obtained through one of two ways. The ornate coins are typically given to you in your mail. Every now and again, the devs will just shoot out a piece of mail. It'll have some ornate coins. Earlier today, we managed to get a bundle of 500. Sometimes they'll give 100s, and they'll just come at complete random, so you can't determine when you do get them. Another way of being able to get ornate coins is by doing the collection codex. So if you run around the world and you see those purple pages that you can interact with, you do get ornate coins for collecting new ones. So by completing all of these, you can get some ornate coins through doing that. And once again, you can use those ornate coins for the ornate coin section in the shop, which does reset every now and again. Another fun little way of being able to get some ornate coins is actually through Discord. If you go to your settings and go to your gift inventory, sometimes there are quests. If you view the quests, every now and again, there might be something for the game. Throne in Liberty, giving away 100 ornate coins, and I believe this one was just for playing the game. So sometimes they may come out with some things here and there. If you haven't done your ornate quest on Discord, then you're welcome. Make sure to go do this. This one's a super easy one. I think it's playing the game for 15 minutes. So make sure you also go and check out additional ways for getting these, such as through Discord. And I'm sure every now and again, they may come out with some events where they give codes that are universal for everyone to use and they're only claimable on one per account or things of that nature. Who knows? We've seen games do stuff like this time and time again. But nonetheless, I hope this was helpful. Good luck farming. Anyone who's interested in some real secret tips, make sure you stay for the rest of this part. So I'll give you a second. Okay, good. Awesome. Sweet. Now that you're here, I'm going to give you the most efficient way of farming Lucent. All right. It is a special ability called disposable income. That's right. You too can hop on the cash shop and go all the way to the bottom and spend your hard-earned dollary dues to farm that Lucent. That's right. And you can be the biggest whale on the server. No point in paying those bills. No point in chasing out and supporting those children. Nope. Grab that second job and Start grinding those new quests and flipping burgers, because you too can spend a ridiculous amount of money for an absolutely barely anything in return for Lucent. That's right. Why not work 8 hours so you can get yourself just a fraction of Lucent that you could earn in the game? That's right. Why grind when you can go grind? Anyways, all jokes aside, hope this video was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're interested in checking out more guides and things on Throne and Liberty to learn about more, definitely check out my YouTube channel. If the video was helpful, please consider giving it a like. If you want more content from myself, smash the sub button and come hang out in the stream sometime. Would love to see you. I'm very happy to answer all your guys' questions. But nonetheless, have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace.